All right, so welcome to the first of 12 goal checkups reports that I'm going to do for the year. This is just going to keep me accountable, keep me constantly recalibrating, constantly improving, and staying accountable to my goals that I've set for 2025. I believe that 2025 is going to be a big year for me personally. I don't know about anyone else, but I think for me, just because I've been able to write the right goals this time for once, and I really do believe that I have it down when it comes to writing the right goals for myself, that I just know this year, if I can really just get in the fucking bag and hone down and just double down and just put my fucking head down on what I've set for the year in terms of my actionable goals, that I know there is no way that I don't hit these goals or get closer to them in a drastic way. At least take big steps towards the long-term visions and the long-term goals that I have for my life, for this channel, for everything. Like really, this is everything. And that, just like for everyone else as well, they want to make their year a good year. And this video series that I'm just going to, I guess, do as a tradition, we'll see how long it lasts, is going to be done just for that. So pretty much how I want this to go currently is I just want to list down my progress for January, obviously the 3 goals that I had and a few more which I'll get into, and how those are doing in terms of my monthly targets. And then I'll go through the goal changes, as in what have I changed, what have I kind of fiddled around with, just so the goals better align with the work that I'm doing for the year. And then I'll talk about the recalibrations that I'll do for February this month. It is the 4th of February. And just set the tone for, February, as I will for March, April, June, July, August, etc., so on and so on. So let's start off with the progress for January. Of course, I've read The Lean Startup. That was about 296 pages, and I finished that. I was slacking towards the end of it, but then by the end of the month, I finished it. And other than that, like the last 20-30 pages was just like links and like their references, etc. 100% a great book. The reason why I read that book at the start, since a few months ago, I believe since like October, November, it was a bit slower then, was just because I felt I needed a guidance on how to actually deal with overthinking and actually getting a business off the ground. It gave me clear principles and techniques that I could definitely 100% take into my mentality when getting up a business. And I've definitely applied that when it's come to my most important business venture, which is for me this year my email marketing agency, which I'll probably reveal in, I don't know, maybe a week or so, show you the socials and whatnot. I've been playing around with my Instagram and getting some fresh accounts. I just want to start clean. Obviously, I had the One Thing event. I've been talking about that a lot past few videos. It's just an event on getting up a niche personal brand and then monetizing your personal brand with a first MVP kind of coaching offer, an IFO, a initial front end offer. I took plenty of resources from it, plenty of knowledge and just ideas from it. As you guys have probably noticed the past few videos so far for 2025, kind of starting to take them a little bit more seriously. I just want to keep it pretty simple for now. And maybe later on into 2025, I want to take it more seriously and go more into that direction. With the past few videos so far, you guys have seen, a few clips floating around of me being able to talk to Aman and, do that on Zoom. That's because I was in the 4-figure deals challenge. That was originally, you wouldn't have been able to join in on Black Friday last year in 2024. For DL, so it was called the DL Black Friday offer, and pretty much you got to join in a challenge called the 4-figure deals challenge, which is just 4 weeks of presentations and calls and Q&As with Iman and a representative in order to help you sign 4-figure deals and pretty much accelerate that process of prospecting, sales, and outreach. So pretty much those 4 calls, and I was able to make it to all 4 of them, get recordings, etc., and be able to apply that to my own work. And that's helped me a lot in accelerating the process of just understanding outreach better, sales better, prospecting better. And also it was just nice again to be able to talk to Aman. Pretty sure I was able to pretty much talk in all of them that was available. The 3rd week call we didn't get to because it was just reading out questions, but I know for the ones, after we went through the 20-minute or so presentation. Pretty much you could just raise your hand in Zoom, and it was just nice. You were able to ask them for input, for help, or for knowledge gaps, and it really helped me to consolidate a lot of what I already know about sales, prospecting, and get more refined and nuances from the sales call structure, and also how to prospect, such as engaging before the call, engaging even before the DM. So that was great. I was able to talk with Iman briefly in all three of them, ask the questions I need to ask, and that allowed me to start up my agency and start prospecting pretty much now at this point. I talked about content creation and starting to take it serious for 2025. Obviously one of my goals is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and to do that, the action I set was to upload 52 videos, which comes out to one video a week. Having that space to only upload about 52 to 104 videos or so, I need to make pretty much every video count, do it the best I can for growth or for nurturing, make good thumbnails, title it properly. So obviously that is always in my mind, and probably in Q2, Q3, I'll start to be able to integrate more of it and actually start taking it more seriously. As of right now, I'm just focusing on the agency, making sure that I dial in the infrastructure, the daily operations I would need to do in order to upkeep it and grow it, and obviously hit that monthly revenue goal of $4,000 for the year. And I know if I hit that, that would be huge for my life. I know that's pretty much around what I would need in order to live comfortably in Australia, if not maybe about 5 or 6K a month recurringly, as a my cash flow business, my lifestyle business. The last progress I made for January was looking at the budget and updating that. Because I've got my agency up now, there's a few costs that I now have in terms of trying to upkeep the operations of the agency for the whole year. So I need to now keep a more closer eye on the budget, and anything that I spend on, etc. I'm always stingy, and I always got to keep like a hawk's eye on my budget and make sure that every single bit of money that comes in and out, that I'm aware of, right? Otherwise, literally everything falls down like a house of cards. It's ridiculous what I have to do in order to make sure the money goes in the right place. But it is what it is. It's just something I have to do in my current position. So now let's move on to my goals, and how they currently are for January of 2025. So I got my yearly planner up, but regardless, like I've done before for the first video I did for 2025, teaching you guys about what I'm using to create my goals and how I'm making sure it's done right. I'll just pop it up on the screen as well with you guys. So all right, let's start off the first goal. And by the way, I'm honestly just going to read the action, because again, you set the outcome and whatever, but I don't focus on that. I mostly read and I focus on the action and making sure that I target that for the whole month and obviously for the rest of the year. And the goal is just the intention. Again, it's just the intention, and whether I hit it or not, that doesn't really matter. I focus on what I can control, and that is only and solely the action. So regardless, I'll still read both, make sure we're all on pace with this. But the intention for goal 1 is to hit $4,000 monthly profit through my agency and affiliate marketing. I actually tweaked this a little bit. Before I actually said revenue, and I feel like that doesn't necessarily count per se. At the moment, I'm not paying tax or anything like that, and to count it as revenue wouldn't make sense because my agency has costs with software and soon even contractors in the future. So to me, that's not money that I'm going to get into my pocket. What really matters here is profit. So I've changed it over to $4,000 monthly profit, not revenue. And the action that I'm going to do in order to hit that is 1,000 outreach messages a month, which is 12,000 outreach messages a year. So I'm actually going to tweak that just a little bit and clarify the actionables for this. So 33 messages a day, 1,000 messages a month, and that would come to a little over 12,000 messages a year. So there we go, fixed it up a little bit. But in terms of the actionable, I've actually done 0 for January. That's because I was, again, getting up the agency and also what I've found currently is actually I'm just struggling to prospect on Instagram. I know it sounds so simple and it sounds so straightforward, but I just don't know where to start to get the ball rolling. But I'm sure this month I'll figure it out, and I'll start to ease into it better. Yeah, start hitting those targets every single day of 33 messages a day, 1,000 messages a month, and 12,000 messages a year. Now, my intention for goal number 2 is to reach 1,000 subscribers on my channel. The action to do that is 52 videos a year, which comes out to 4 to 5 videos a month and 1 video a week. So for January, it should have been 5 videos, but I think I only got out about 4. Which was unfortunate. So technically I did not meet the monthly target for this month, for January. I'm sure this month I'll be able to pick up the pace a little bit more, upload a few more videos, and get it to a pace at around 2 videos a week. And then my intention for goal 3 is read 12 books and then directly apply them. And then the corresponding action to that intention is 1 book a month, which comes out to around 30 minutes a day of reading. So usually I read towards the end of the day at night, which comes out around, say a 300 page, it'd be about 10 pages approx per session. And obviously during that time, highlighting all the key points and actionable points with a yellow and pink highlighter from the Remarkable. Yeah, at some point I need to be able to actually take from the Lean Startup and actually turn it into actionable takeaways that I can actually apply to my business. So yeah, that is how my goals are looking for January. I'm a video short. I haven't sent 1,000 messages so far. I've sent 0. I've only prospected about 9 people onto the CRM. Again, I'm really struggling, but I know and I'm confident that if I just focus in, do a little bit of research here and there, and just reconsolidate on things, that I'll be able to kickstart my outreaching and prospecting for February. And then in terms of reading, I'm on point, and I'm onto a new book for the month. So in terms of the goal changes, I removed the 1 module a day part from the first goal of reaching $4,000 monthly profit through my agency and through affiliate marketing. The reason I did that is because I just felt the action actually wasn't really related whatsoever to, actually hitting that. I do learning on DL in terms of and learning constitutes as just 1 module a day. Reading can also come into that, but I just do that passively. I don't do that, because I've set a action, I've set a goal to watch 365 modules a year. And that's another thing. I cannot track how many individual modules I've watched for the month. It would just be too much of a nuisance to track that, given that I also, it just doesn't play anything to any of my goals. So I removed it. And obviously I've cleared that from the monthly planner. In terms of learning in DL, I finished Web Design Fast Track. I'll just say it's good. It covered the general basics, on a shallow level of how to run an agency, but it was primarily focused on really making your first $1,000 through web design, which is obviously something I'm not looking to do, but it was helpful to watch through, get some context for how I would do web design and how I would design a website. It's also funny because I bought a domain from Squarespace when I was setting everything up. So Sam Crawford was teaching in that program, Web Design Fast Track, on designing websites through Squarespace. Now it's looking like web design is definitely something I'm going to apply in the future when I want to create a website. But for the time being, I've just watched it passively, and I've moved on to the perfect fit, which is about tailoring, which is about fashion. So again, program varies, and it's just too many to track at once. It's too intricate and too singular. Now, speaking of my new read for February, I've picked up a new book, which I thought was, relevant to me right now, which I believe, just like, the Lean Startup, I read books for an intention, for a reason, to unwire something or to, improve my life step by step. I'm now reading, as you can see here, Deep Work by Cal Newport, Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World, author of So Good They Can't Ignore You. I'm liking it so far. I love the format of it. It's only 220 pages, so be able to hopefully get through this by the 3rd week of February, and then write my takeaways, write it down. I also want to write down some takeaways, like a takeaway format, just so then I can get pretty much bullet points and cliff notes of each book that I read and make sure that I actually apply it rather than just read it. Next thing is I made character goals, so I'll tell you guys about this as well. These are more so personal to me, personal to, personal growth, character. Again, it's self-explanatory. It's character goals. It's goals about building your character, while usually, the other goals you set would be for health, it'd be for your career, it'd be for business. Obviously, if you're watching my kind of content, you're probably interested in business, you're interested in entrepreneurship, online business, those various floating terms. So the character goals is pretty much the same format as it is for, the yearly goals. The only difference is obviously it's 3 different goals, 3 different actions, of course. Of course, I'll pop it up on the screen. I'll just share you guys 2 of them. The other one, the goal 2 that I've set, is more so personal to me, and I'd like to keep private about that. So the intention I have for goal 1 is have a consistent routine, which I put in brackets, sleep, wake up, and workout. And therefore then the action that I've set for that is accomplish my morning routine, which is this consistent sleep, wake up, and workout 274 times a year, which is 75% of the year, rounded up to obviously a whole day. So I'm probably ranging around that kind of percentage at the moment, 75%, if not a little bit under at like 50%. Unfortunately, Christmas is during summer. Yeah, I'm finding it really rough with just waking up and just not really getting the best sleep. And I wake up and I feel like absolute shit and I just want to go back to bed. So hopefully that'll improve a little bit better for the next 9 months forward when it gets a little colder, for autumn and winter. So yeah, it's probably ranging around like 50-60% to 75% at my current rate at the moment. I'm just guessing. I actually just put up the number on the screen after it's calculated and whatnot. But yeah, I'll be tracking that from now on. The next thing is the intention for goal 3 is to stay focused majority of work days. It sounds very vague. It sounds very ambiguous. Now, I am working on that. Again, you can always tweak and refine and optimize your goals throughout the year. But if you can keep it pretty much the same, but just refine it and make it more specific, there's nothing wrong with that. So I believe I set criteria such as like complete at least 1 work block 1 or work block 2, and then complete 1 work block 3, and that will count as a productive day, since I put the most important work and I front load it on the day. So that's why work block 1 and work block 2 are very important, pretty much just as equal important as each other. And then work block 3 is kind of like, I'm editing, I'm recording a video. As of right now, it's 7:42. So this is work block 3 from 6 to 8 p.m. Usually I'm editing something, I'm writing notes for my next video, or obviously exporting content, uploading content, schedule uploading it, such and such, creating thumbnails, Yeah, so usually the first work blocks matter. So I guess that's my criteria, or I'll write that down after the video and put it up on the screen for you guys. Similar action to goal 1, which is have 274 focused work days, majority tick. Yeah, obviously I wrote my why as well for each goal. So my why for goal 1 is that starting on the right foot each morning guarantees a focused day. And I can really say that for sure, because honestly, if I don't have a good morning, I just feel like trashing the rest of the day. Like, guys, I'm not a very disciplined person. Sometimes I have good days, but it comes in ebbs and flows for me. It's usually a good week, and then it goes down to a bad week, and then kind of goes back into a decent week or so, and then but usually most of the time it's just normal moderate weeks for most part, or bad weeks, and very much rarely good weeks where I'm nailing down everything perfectly, ticking all the boxes for each of my tasks each day, and staying consistent with that. There's usually a distraction or a vice, and I kind of got to restart back from zero and move on and ease into a better week again. And then my why for having goal 3 is that it doesn't matter how much time you work, it matters how much of it was deep, focused, flow state work. I've just had this little bit of an epitome lately where people are like, where people think, you know, the information is the most important thing, when the information is on a playing field, almost generally for the most part, you know, in terms of who can access information. Like, you can go on Google, you can go on YouTube and find anything you want. Your competitive edge is not going to be information. Your competitive edge is going to be application. And so put it into this context, everybody has 24 hours and everybody sleeps, you know, around, depending on what age you are, usually around it's out to about 7 or 8. And so usually everyone's left with 17 to 16 hours every single day for work or for play or for whatever, you know, for working out, for eating. I know for me, after working out, eating, you know, all the hygiene stuff, I have about 14, 15 hours of available time to work. And I'm sure everybody else too. Going back to the why, it doesn't matter how much time you have, it's about how focused you are on each hour. I've literally seen and reflected back on 5 hours that I had to work on something, you know, on one of my big work blocks, whether it be work block 1, usually work block 2. And I look at it and I think, like, the amount of work I did for that work block was actually about 5 minutes. And then the rest, I just wasted it. I was distracted on emails, not doing the work. I was just staring at the fucking Word document. So I've literally had days where I've had a full 4 or 5 hours in order to work on something. And then I reflect on it afterwards. You know, after dinner, I'm like, I fucking worked for like 5 minutes. I worked for like 10 minutes. You know, all I did was like change this setting in, like, you know, in this tool that I use. I didn't do shit other than that. I just stared at a document. I just watched YouTube videos or something like that. So it's like, it doesn't matter how much time you have. It's about how much focus and how much deep work you get into it. And hence why, of course, that's why my specific book for February is relevant to me. It's Deep Work by Cal Newport, because that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to get out of his book. You know, just being intentional with it. So that's why I wrote down this third goal, this character goal, which is, you know, make sure I have as many focused and deep work days as possible. Because I know that's currently something I'm struggling with, and I'm struggling with my phone and with my laptop from time to time while I need to do my work. So yeah, that's my character goals. A few more personal touches that I did was I added 3 more highlights to the day. So as you can see here, this is my 5-minute journal. This is the template for it that I just duplicate every night before obviously the next morning. I just decided to add highlight 4, 5, and 6 just because last year I used to do a note jar where I, you know, summarized each week. You know, always journal down something on the note, whether it be something small or something significant, just as a memory to save into that week. Now that I don't do that, I decide to kind of pass it down, add it to this, and any other details I want to put down, I could just put it in my daily journal and yeah, just write it there. So obviously my goal for Q1 to kind of remind myself is to stabilize daily operations. Of course, since I've just got up my agency, I've just started to take content creation more seriously this year, and I'm planning to do some affiliate reviews for DL, for Loop earplugs, for Remarkable, and then on Q2 I'll optimize, audit, you know, scale, put in some systems and processes. You know, pretty much what that means is just make it clear, you know, making things clearer, making things more systemized, bringing things into second nature, and just iterating, split testing, that kind of stuff. I'll get into that, you know, in Q2, and obviously whatever else there will be for Q3, Q4, etc. The last thing I did for the planners was I wrote down for 1 week and I just copied it for every single other day. What do I need to do for work block 1, work block 2, work block 3, work block 4, work block 4 again, and then 30 minutes reading every single day. Self-explanatory, along with a main objective for the week. And then I can include any events at the bottom, like mock calls, or like as you can see here, call with Kieran, community call in DL, a Flowsy workshop call on Saturday for me, and then another call with my accountability partners on Sunday. So just clarifies it, make it easier, so that I just don't like go blank and just don't know what to write and just stare at it for like 20 minutes. So yeah, that's the goal or routine changes that I've done for the month. Recalibrations for February is to refine and make my 2025 SBA. That's so that I can clear the 2024 action plan. If you guys can remember, this was way back, but I wrote a 2024 action plan. I remember I talked about it probably like last year. Pretty much ticked off everything. Like I've either ticked it off or I've delegated it. I put like a D on it. Any other tasks that I wasn't able to do or goals I wasn't able to do, I just put an X over it. And then the very last thing that I have a dash over is just refine and do my SBA for 2025 plus the plan of attack, the 2025 plan of attack. It's from the one thing. So as you can see, it's Iman's face on the front cover. But this is the Catalyst workbook or the 2025 plan of attack that Iman gave us for 2025. So I still haven't done that, and I kind of want to do both of them because one's for an aspiring entrepreneur, one's for a business owner, and I think I kind of slot in the middle a bit because I'm still focusing on financial growth, but I'm also focusing on personal growth. So I might as well just do both and see where I want to go from there. So refine and make my 2025 SBA to clear the 2024 action plan. Do the 2025 plan of attack workbook that we got from the One Thing event. Go through the Remarkable review. So as a part of being a Remarkable customer, we got in our emails a little workbook as well, similar to the plan of attack that we got from Iman. This is what they've given us. It's got a cool little logo and icon right here. It says workbook 2024/2025 Remarkable X Farnham Street. So I've skimmed through this a little bit, but pretty much it's just a bunch of mental models in order to frame for 2025. As you can see, it's previewing some of the pages there, and it's kind of like in chapters, bunch of mental models and quotes, and it's kind of just like a little mental exercise. So I have to go through that as well. That is 63 pages. Next thing is start easing into my prospecting and outreach. As I've said before, I've started my agency. I've started doing outreach now. Technically not, because I'm struggling on outreach. So far I've only prospected 9 people onto my Excel spreadsheet, and that's super embarrassing because 9 is not a lot. I'm be honest, I definitely could have gone more, but I just realized I was trailing off and I wasn't finding the ideal prospect that I actually wanted to work with. Given that my niche is for product businesses selling a digital product, whether it be specifically a high ticket, mid ticket program, stuff like that, and I was just struggling to get that. So again, that's why my calibrations for this month is to kind of just reconsolidate on prospecting, how to actually start with it and get the ball rolling, and then from there hopefully I'll start hitting my daily goals, my daily targets, and hitting my monthly targets of 1,000 outreach messages a month, which includes prospecting the 1,000 people, sending the messages to 1,000 people, and then obviously tracking them in a separate tracker. That doesn't even include follow-ups, which is making me think about how that's going to work. But just having to follow up on every single prospect, every single one of those 1,000 people every 3 days, 7 days, that literally 3x's, 4x's, or 7x's, depending on how many follow-up messages I want to send to each person, to like 6,000, 7,000. But I won't even put that in my goals. I'll still keep it to send outreach messages, as in like the first contact message, and starting a conversation. So it's like outreach is, I know it's just going to be, it's going to take a lot of grit. And again, that's why for Q1, I speculated correctly that I just need to ease into that and stabilize daily operations. So next thing, kind of with and complementary to the agency, is a dial in building my agency infrastructure and operations. Even though, yes, I've started my agency since last month, it is in no shape to take a client on. I cannot actually take a client on right now. I cannot even send in a proper call link to any person at the moment because, my calendar booking apps aren't even set up properly. My Flowsy workspace isn't even set up properly. My Google Workspace isn't even set up properly, and even my domain, it doesn't even have a website, which I'm actually fine with. But just between, like, guys, between Flowsy and like actually being able to have a booking app to set in the calls, if I took on a client right now, I do not have any onboarding funnel. I have no idea how to invoice them. I have no contract to send them. So quite literally, even though, yeah, I've started, as everyone wanted me to do, I am in no shape to take on a client. I'm in no shape to literally even get on a call. That's another thing. Zoom Pro. I just bought Zoom Pro. I'm about to get billed tomorrow. And my account isn't even set up with the right settings. It doesn't have the waiting room function turned on. It's not going to auto record. I don't even have my profile set up correctly. Like, I'm in literally no shape to even call a client, or therefore even onboard and take on a client and retain a client for 3 months. Nevertheless, obviously all the other stuff after, contacting and calling with a prospect on Zoom. So that's why it's just of equal importance for me to get up my agency infrastructure and actually build the floors of the agency, with prospecting and outreaching to, again, my email marketing agency is going to be the main thing that I will focus on for this month, for this year, given that obviously it's going to be my main source of income. It's going to be my lifestyle business. It's going to be, the cash flow business that I can use to go into different ventures, different businesses, etc. Obviously right now it's just to build an income. And that's why things like content creation, things like affiliate marketing, obviously only those are going to kind of have to take a back burner. So it's a lot of work and I keep myself busy, but yeah, I just need to divert my focus properly to ensure that my agency gets the most focus, gets the most attention, and gets the most progress done. Obviously, given that now I've taken on software and costs with my agency, with Flowsy Solopreneur, that's 49 USD a month. I have Zoom Pro, which is 243 Australian dollars a year. I have my domain, which is $18 a year from Squarespace, so it's obviously not a big deal. But then I also have my Google Workspace, which is $10 a month, AUD. Like, that all comes out to around like over $1,000 a year to, for 12 months. So to me, it's like, I need to, like, the thing is, like, I need to sign a client at some point. And so long as I do the work, again, I'm confident that I will. It's not a big deal, right? I'm going to sign them on for 3 months, etc. And obviously work with them to manage and grow their email marketing systems and their email list, and make sure that we generate consistent profits and streams of revenue through that manner. So that's obviously what I specialize with my agency, which I'll reveal, later down the line, probably in a week or a few weeks or so. I'll mention it with my socials as well. So that's that. Obviously for February, since I am a video behind, I obviously got to pick up my uploading frequency. We'll start with this one. Just try and take actionable takeaways from the Lean Startup, as I've been saying. And then the character goal, recalibrations. It's pretty much as simple as just making sure I sleep well, so that when I wake up, I don't have horrible latency, and then therefore I then get to my workout and do that on time, and obviously get to my desk on time. Yeah, guys, to wrap it up, I just need to ease into things. In Australia, it is summer, and it's going to be like that for, I think, the next month, 2 months, until it kind of gets to autumn and winter. So it's going to be pretty rough in terms of sleep and routine and, morning routine, waking up properly. Again, guys, I'm not a summer person. I am a winter person. I'm a winter guy. I love winter more than I love summer. So yeah, I believe as the year goes on, it'll improve, and then it'll kind of take a nosedive at the end, and we'll see how it evens out when I track it at the end. I'll be able to work better in colder seasons. So guys, it may not look good so far for January, not the best, having that I've sent 0 outreach messages. I've only uploaded 4 out of 5 videos so far, and reading's on track, but yeah, it's just summer. Like, I really have nothing else to say, but it's just summer. I don't know about you, I don't really feel affinity to Australia. I'll be honest with you guys. To me, honestly, I want to move to somewhere like the UK, Cape Town, maybe the Philippines, somewhere in Asia. Definitely not Bali. Bali's for like partying and whatnot and just relaxing. Honestly, like, I would want to move somewhere in like, London that's where all the activity is, that's where all the wealth is. And for me, I'd just rather it be cold all year round rather than having to deal with some hot months and then like I'm falling off in productivity and focus, compared to just, a cold winter where you can snug up in your bed, wake up in the morning and, it's nice and cold. Sometimes we don't like it, but it's not as bad as just waking up in a sweat and feeling like absolute shit. No matter how good your sleep is, you just feel like shit in the morning during the summer. Yeah, for me, I prefer colder Europe or like London. That's my ideal place. So yeah, that's all for this video. It's obviously getting dark now, as you can see in the back. So I wish I was in London, because I would see more wealth and opportunity around me, and it'd just be colder. I would enjoy that more. In due time, I'll move over there, see what I think, and live somewhere cold at least. It doesn't have to be London, but it has to be somewhere cold, all year round, and that's ideal for me. That's ideal for growth. That is all for the January goals report that I have for this month. We'll see how February goes. It's only been 1 month so far into 2025. I hope you guys are doing well with yours. I hope you have set the right goals. If you want, leave me down below your goals. But I hope you guys are doing well with your goals so far. I hope you guys are progressing so far well with your goals. If not, again, just don't beat yourself up. Move on. Find out what you can do better tomorrow. And that's all you need to do. Just try a little bit better every single day. Pick yourself back up and make sure you're always on the right track every single day. So hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope you guys have got something out of it. Hope you guys are cluing in, listening in, and taking notes where you can to improve your own. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.